Hey everybody and welcome. My name is Bubs Bee, but you can just call me Bubs. In this video, I'm just going to be showing you guys how I trim my hair on blow dried hair. I will not be showing you guys how I blow dry my hair. I do have a dedicated video on how I do that. I'm going to leave that in the cards and link down below as well, just so you guys can see how I get my best blowout. Also, I do have a video on how I trim my hair when it's not in its stretch state, when I didn't blow dry it out. So I'm going to leave that video in the cards and down below too, because that video is very helpful. So definitely check out that video next. And after my hair is done blow drying, it's nice and fluffy and big. If you want a link check video, guys, I just put that up, or it's going to be after this video. So check that out as well. I'm going to leave that down below. You can see by the ends that my hair is very tangled and knotty, and it's time to just get rid of those split ends, those knots, anything like that. It's time to get rid of them. And you can see my ends, they're very transparent, they look very rough, and I will need to trim about 1 inch or so all over. But one thing you want to keep in mind when you're trimming your hair when it's blow dried, you do not want to go overboard, because if you have textured hair like mine, your hair is still going to be textured in its blow dry state. So you may think your ends are knotty, or they're frizzy, or they're split ends, and they're really not. They're just the way your ends look. So keep that in mind when it comes to trimming your hair. I like to trim my hair in quadrants, so I do have my hair in 4 sections, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. I'm going to start trimming in the back and move forward. I do like to take small to medium sized sections. If this is your first time doing this, I would suggest to do small sections. I'm going to detangle that section with a wide tooth comb, and then I'm going to take my Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush to detangle that further, and then I'm going to go in with a finer tooth comb. This is going to smooth my hair down so I can really see where those damaged ends are. And since my hair is at a good enough length, I can see where those dead ends are. I can see where the splits and the knots are, and I'm going to trim that right off. If you want to make sure you're trimming off an even amount all over, you can get your measuring tape just to measure it, just to be sure. I'm cutting about 1 inch off all over. And once I do that first step of snipping, I will examine my ends even further. Since my hair is in a blow dried state, it's a lot easier for me to see the splits in the knots. So I will try to examine every last strand and get every knot or split end out. When my hair is wet and in its kinkier state, I cannot do that because my cuticles pretty much are laying a lot smoother and my hair shrinks up a ton, so I can't see it that well. So this is the perfect time when I would do this method. This is called the search and destroy method. Yes, this method is very tedious. I do not do this all the time, but when I do blow dry my hair, I will do this step.
They know that it's real and not just for the gram.
And then I will continue to do those same steps. I parted off a section on the other side just to make sure it's even. I'm going to snip off any dead ends, any knots I see, and then I'm going to do the search and destroy method. I'm just going to be totally honest. This took more than an hour to trim my hair, but like I said, I probably only do this once a year, maybe twice a year. I don't do it all the time because it's very long and very tedious, but my hair's not all one length, so I like doing the search and destroy method just in case I have splits going up my hair shaft. I want to get rid of those because they will keep splitting and cause more breakage. Since I do not get my hair professionally trimmed or cut, which I think it's a good idea because they can see your hair and your damage a lot better than you can. But since I don't do that, this really does help for me getting a lot of split ends and a lot of damage. So that's why I do this step. And I also try to make sure my hair is as even as possible. If not, I will trim off a little more. Even if my ends aren't damaged, I will trim it off a little bit just to ensure that my hair is even all over. When it comes to the crown in the middle of my hair, I just pull it forward in the front of my face, pull it downwards, and then I trim straight across. I don't cut this area at an angle. Straight across works perfectly fine. And then in the front two sections, I will take them out. This is when I will trim my hair at an angle. This is only the second time I've done this, and I really like how my hair lays when I do it at an angle in the front. But in the front, I wanted to have a little bit of a layered look. This is just so when I do my twist outs, braid outs, anything like that, it just lays a lot nicer, and I have more volume on the top because the top is a lot shorter than the bottom. My ends right now, they look amazing, okay? They look so wonderful compared to before. My ends were looking beat. They were looking rough. Trust me, I can tell. You can always tell when it's time to trim when your styles aren't coming out right, when you have a lot of knots, you see split ends, your hair snagging at the end, it seems like it's taking you a long time to detangle. Anything like that, those are definitely signs that it's time to trim your hair. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please check out all the videos I linked in the cards and down below. Those will be very helpful for you. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.
But I will if I need to.